Everybody, Martyn flicking feathers again today. I'm tying a jig hook peeping caddis. It's an absolutely fantastic fly for trout and grayling. If you fish the rivers, you really should have these in your box. They're really good, and you work all season, all year long. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anyone that wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, and be eligible for the giveaways. You can also subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified of the new videos, and share the video with anybody you think would be interested. That's all, I appreciate it. So I've got my hook and my vise. It's a TMC jig hook. It's the 403 BLJ, size 14, and I've run on some grey Unit 8 on it. The thread colour doesn't matter, anything kind of natural, black, brown, grey is fine. Now for the grub, I'm going to use this small ultra chenille in chartreuse. Fluorescent white's also a good colour, or fluorescent pink, although it's a bit less kind of natural. Just going to melt the end with a lighter. Let it catch and get my wee black grub head. Now I'd say do these in advance usually, right? I'm doing it as I'm tying for the sake of the video, but normally I would have them, you know, do a dozen or whatever, or a half dozen, however many flies you're tying, and get them ready. Now the length of the grub I like to be sort of about a shank length or so, something like that, coming off the back. And I'm going to tie it actually slightly round the bend, so I'll just catch that in with a couple of turns. It's a wee bit long, we'll just sneak it back. And get it in place. Happy with that. Secure it, and then I'll just trim it away right at the back of the bead. Just tidy everything up. Now the legs, I'm using a brown partridge hackle, and this is a good fly for using up if you've got some like bigger feathers, whether you're buying them in a pack or if you've got the pelt. Some of the bigger feathers that you maybe wouldn't necessarily be using for your small wet flies, you can use them up on this. Now I'm going to take my thread back and I'm going to stop the thread that just behind the tie, and I'm not going all the way back. I'm going to check sort of the length of my hackle feather, the longest barbs, so I've got a good idea of where I want to tie it in. That's fine. Just making sure before I cut it. I'm going to tie it in by the tip on my side, and you can see there I've tied that in a fair distance, right, the back for the grub, and I'm going to take my thread up to about the halfway point in the shank, and I'm just going to get up there and, like, I don't know, that's a turn and a half, say, so that when I tie back you can see there their legs are going to be like just about the length of the grub, maybe a little longer, a little shorter, but roughly the same size. one of the things I don't like when I see a peeping caddis is you see something that's like there's about 3 tons of partridge wound right at the back. It's just too much, I think. So I'm just going to sweep all these back and then tie over them. Take my wee sort of leggy effect there. I like that, that looks quite good to me. I mean, it's up to you, if you want them a bit longer, of course you can tie them longer. Now for my rib, I'm using a small ultra wire in olive. If you want to use gold or whatever you can, copper. I just like the kind of dark olive rib. Still has a wee shine to it, but it blends into the dubbing body quite well. Now you can use any sort of natural dubbing. I like this nymph dub from Sybai, and the colours, it's called beige, but you can see it's, here's the ear a wee bit darker. It's a nice sort of scruffy dubbing. Just got to get that on the thread. I'm just going to blast up the body, which stop slightly short of the bead. You can see there's just, you can still see the chartreuse of the chenille. And I'm going to run my thread back through to tighten that up. And then I'm going to come through my rib, full turn at the back, and then I'm going to come up again, quite closely spaced wraps up the body, nice tight turns, tie the wire off, fold it back, and then bend and break away the waist. And it's just a case of a wee bit more dubbing. Just to sort of cover that transition up to the bead. Then whip finish right away. Put that away. And I'm just going to trim away any really long fibres. I mean, Caddis pupa, they're a wee bit, I mean they're rough wee things, but they're no really straggly. Caddis larvae, I should say, case Caddis. I'll just take a wee drop of head cement in the back of the bead, and that will soak into the thread. And there you go. That's the peeping Caddis. Nice wee fly. Absolutely deadly. Grayling love them, trout love them. I mean, I know some guys that have used them in Mongolia for Lennox as well with good success, so get some of these in your box. Different size beads, change the weights and that. Different colour beads if you like as well, a gold bead's fine. So I hope that was useful, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. Tight lines guys, bye.